Evelyn to Philip, September 24th, 1944. Dearest Phil, I didn't write yesterday, and this is by way of making up for yesterday and today. Gloria is my excuse for not writing this time, so I hope I'm excused. Yesterday I received your letters of September 16th and 17th, the latter being the extremely short one. The former contained the instructions for what I thought was a very lovely sweater, and the pin for Mom. I shall try to make at least one of the sweaters, but I won't say when. I'm concentrating on things to keep Adele warm and several sweaters for others. It may take a while, but I shall certainly try to make one. As you know, I worked for Mr. B Saturday morning and Miss Hahn in the afternoon. Oh, before I forget, Mom liked the pin very much and thanks you for it. There are some times when Mom makes me very angry, and her remark when I gave her the pin had that effect. The remark, "It's about time my son decided his mother would like to have a pin." It just burned me up, for Mom has more nerve to say things to me than to either Gloria or Goldie. For instance, Jack sent Gloria a bracelet and earring set, and now he sent her a lovely necklace and bracelet made of shells. Mom raved and raved about it. Gloria was wearing it, but she doesn't have the nerve to tell Gloria the same thing. Jack did send her a bracelet, but it never reached here. Sometimes I even hate to show her the little things you send me, for fear that she'll come out with a similar remark. I'm sure she doesn't begrudge these things to me, but she certainly has a funny way of remarking that annoys me. Page 2. But let's get on. I got home from Miss Hahn's rather late and had supper. We presented Glo with her gifts, and she was thrilled to pieces. Mom and I each gave her $5 in cash as an anniversary gift, and she was really excited by then. Glo brought Diana a nice rattle and Adele a little red leather shoulder bag that sports the words in gold of Junior Whack. It's just the right size for Adele, and Adele is very fond of it already. We sat and gabbed most of Saturday night, and it was rather late when we got to bed. I might add that the past 2 days have been freezing, and if this keeps up much longer, we will have to have heat in the house. This morning the Browns called for Mom. Ben Barco drove the car, along with Mrs. Barco, and they went to the cemetery. I had Adele out during the morning and gave her lunch at my mother's. Adele hasn't been feeling so good these past 2 days, and I'm afraid she's teething again. This time it's her 2-year molars, which I had thought would not bother her for some time. She kept putting her finger to the very back of her mouth to chew on it and was slobbering a little. These things always drag out, so I guess it will take a little while. If it isn't bothering her sleep at all. I've got her into the practice of picking her up just before I hit the hay and putting her on the toddy seat. She always makes for me and keeps dry till morning. However, I'm having a hell of a time catching her in the morning. She seems to wet just a few minutes before I catch her, every time. She tells me if she is wide awake, but sometimes it happens in her sleep. I usually take her into bed with me when she is changed to warm her up, as the wetness makes her body cold. I usually tickle her, and she yells, "Top it," for stop it, and then more. Do I hear you saying just like a woman? Then she'll kiss me on my cheek. After that, she'll say mouse, meaning that she wants to kiss me on the mouth. That particular phrase always tickles me. Page 3. Harry quit his job because the boss would not pay him the union wages, preferring to give the job to someone else. Now he wants to go into business, or perhaps talk his father-in-law into going into something with him. Whatever the outcome, I shall let you know. While Adele napped yesterday, I fixed her red corduroy outfit, as Glow had some film and wanted to make some snaps. When Adele awoke, I dressed her in her new outfit, plus shoulder bag, which matches perfectly, and took about 3 snaps of her. I appear in one snap with her. There is one of her alone and one of her with Glow. Gloria, by the way, looks better than ever and seems more attractive than I remember her. She's going to college 2 nights a week, just for the hell of it, and is taking bio and English. Mom remarked that she is much nicer in every way than she was. It just shows to Goyu that people are more friendly when they don't have to live together. I will say that Glow has learned a lot and isn't a bit the way she used to be, which of course makes me like her more than I ever did. Ethel, Al, and the rest of the family called for Mom in the afternoon so that she could go with them to the cemetery. I had to take care of Stuart. Ethel brought 2 gifts, one for Diana, a whole knitted set of sweater, leggings, hat, and gloves, which saves me the trouble of making something right now, and a pair of peach flannel sleepers for Adele. Gloria wheeled Stuart about in the folding carriage they had brought, while Goldie wheeled Diana and I wheeled Adele in the walker. We sure were a sight. As Glow said, I got one ready-made. Page 4. We walked over to Anne's and said hello, and Anne told me that she hasn't heard from Tony for over 2 weeks. Naturally, she is very, very worried. We also stopped at the Reisners and saw Mr. R. and Molly and her hubby. When we came back, Ruth took Adele off my hands for a while so that I could give Stuart his bottle and change him. Then Ruth took Adele to my mother's for dinner, enabling me to eat dinner here. Gloria left shortly after, and now I'm going to cut this short, as Mom and I are going to the Lindley to see 2 Girls and a Sailor, which they tell me is very good. That's the end of my weekend, the weekend that marked over 2 years for your being away the second time. In those 2 years, I've learned to love you all the more, sweetheart mine, and I'm ever so anxious to have you all to myself once more. I love you so much, darling, and it is with this thought that I take my leave. Your Ev.